Hi everyone, Amy here with Timeero's Customer Success Team, and today we're going to discuss jobs, how to add them, how to manage them, and what they represent inside of Timeero. So a job could be anything, all right? A job can be a customer, a job can be a location, pretty much anything you want to track time spent on a particular, like I said, job or customer. That's where jobs come in. Now, you do not have to use jobs in order to track time, GPS, and or mileage with Timeero. Okay, so if you're not interested in tracking time spent on jobs or customers, you can go into the company settings at the top right hand side of your screen, scroll down just a bit midway through the page, and turn off require all users to select a job to clock in. So with this turned off, users can open up the mobile app and simply clock in and out without having to choose a job to clock into. With this turned on, when the user opens up the mobile app and they tap on clock in, they'll be asked to choose a job to clock into. Okay, so that being said, let's head on over to the jobs and tasks menu on the left hand side of the screen here. Right, and these are where all your jobs live, on the jobs and tasks page. Right, to add a job, come over here to the right side and click on Add Job. Right, so the only field that's required here is the job name. So you would go ahead and type in the job name here. Okay, the description will be seen by your employees, so you can put a description here if you need to. Contact details right here. If you click on Add Contact Information, here you can enter the contact information for that job location. Again, your employees will see this information, so it becomes very helpful to them if needed. Over here, where you see Assign to a User or Group. By default, the job will be automatically assigned to all users. So what that means is when the user opens up the mobile app and they go to clock in, they can see this job. Everybody on your team can see this job and will have access to clocking into that job. If you want to allow specific users to have access to this job, over here, click on Add, and you can go ahead and select which employees you want to be able to clock into and out of this job. You can also assign jobs by group. So for example, if I choose Porky Pig here, and then I click the X button on here at the top right, you'll see here that this specific job is assigned to only one user. Alright, so now when everybody inside of my account goes to clock in, no one will have access to clocking into this job except for Porky Pig, one user. Alright, now we have hourly rate. This overrides the user rate. So if when your employee works on this job, they make a special rate, you can go ahead and enter that rate here. So if you have an employee that makes $10 an hour regularly, however, when they work on this job specifically, they make $25 an hour, that's what you would want to do. You would want to enter that rate here. Okay. To track miles, the track mileage has to be turned on for both the user and the job. So if you want miles to track when the employee is clocked into this job, you want to check this box. If not, you can go ahead and uncheck this box. Next, you can come over here and create the location details. Again, this is not required. The only requirement to add a job is the job name. Okay, so here you can go ahead and enter an address if you'd like. Okay, your employees can see this address inside the mobile app. And an address is required if you want to use a geofence around the job. So once I enter in the address, the next thing I'm going to do is check the box to reposition the address on the map here on the right hand side. So once I check this box, you'll see a pin has now been placed on this map. I can go ahead and use my mouse to zoom in or to zoom out on this location. I can also use these toggles over here, the plus and the minus sign. If you're not happy with this pin, or if you have a very large job site, for example, if somebody's working at this is a hospital, okay? Hospitals are large locations, right? Sometimes they can take up a whole entire block, and there's different wings in that hospital. Okay, so if you'd like to relocate this pin to make sure it's at the correct position, okay, you can zoom in, you can drag this pin over here. Okay, so you can move this pin to the correct location within the job area. Next, if you want to create a geofence around the job, you can click here underneath the map where it says require geofencing. What is a geofence? A geofence is a virtual boundary. Okay, so when this is turned on, if the employee clocks in outside of this geofence, we will put a flag on the timesheet to let you know that the employee clocked in before they actually arrived at the job. And if the employee clocks out outside of this geofence, we will also note that on the timesheet for you, so you know when an employee is clocking in from their house or from where they're not supposed to be, say. If you do not check this box, there will be no geofence and there will be no flag on the timesheet telling you where the employee, if the employee has not clocked in inside of that circle. With geofencing, you can turn on smartphone notifications. So when the employee arrives into this geofence boundary, we will send a notification reminding them to go ahead and clock in because they have arrived at the job. Same thing on departure. When they exit this boundary here, we will send them a notification reminding them to go ahead and clock out. These on arrival and departure notifications can only be sent if this box is checked here, require geofencing. Without the geofencing, reminders to clock in and clock out will not be sent to the user when they arrive at this job location here. And lastly, the geofence actions. You can assign this notification to specific users. So for example, if I only want Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck to receive that reminder to clock in and reminder to clock out notification, I can choose them right here. Okay, if I have this unchecked, all users by default will receive the smartphone notification to clock in and clock out when they arrive and depart that geofence. Okay, so as we stated before, by default, the jobs, when you add a job, they will automatically be assigned to all users. Okay, to edit your jobs, you can come over here and click on Update Jobs. Okay, and here you can go ahead and change that geofence if it's there, turn it on, turn it off, and so on. To mass import jobs, click on the Import Jobs button over here, and you can download our template and fill out that CSV, and then go ahead and upload that CSV to import many jobs at one time. Also, if you click over here to highlight all these jobs, you'll see you have other options at the bottom of this page here. You can turn on mileage tracking for all of these jobs at one time or turn it off. You can mass assign these jobs to people or groups. You can also deactivate your jobs here in bulk. It's a good idea not to delete any jobs, just in case you need to bring it back into the system for your team to clock into and out of, or if you need to run reports. Okay, so if a job has ended, simply just deactivate the job by clicking on this icon right here. Now, that pretty much covers the jobs. If you have any questions, you can give us a shout at 888-998-0852. To learn more about jobs, you can click over here. We have a help center. For example, geofencing. If you want to learn more about that, you can search here in our help center.